Hey, if you're struggling with getting your first video client or any video client of that matter, or even photo clients, freelance clients, whatever, then this video is going to be for you. I'll show you what exactly you need to do in 3 simple steps to land your first client or your next client. So let's dive straight in. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Rob and I help filmmakers just like you implement predictable systems to generate clients on demand and with predictability without relying on word of mouth, networking or referrals. So if you're new here, subscribe down below and let me know in the comments what you're currently struggling with, so maybe I can make a video to help you out. And also to check out my video with 31 ways to get video clients if you're looking for some inspiration on what's possible in terms of client acquisition. A lot of people really complicate this whole thing about getting clients. So it either comes down to you not having your foundations in place, which means that you don't know how to market yourself, how to properly communicate your value, or you simply don't have any past work to show. So that's your foundations. It's either that, or once you have your foundations in place and you know you actually have a message that resonates with the market that you're working with, then at that point it's really just all about making enough offers to people. So if you're not where you want to be with your business right now, it's all about just having your foundations in place and then making enough offers to people. I could really just end the video here, but we're gonna dive into much more detail right now. So the first step that you're gonna want to do is actually figure out who is it that you want to serve. Like, what exact type of client do you want to go after, right? So you define what you actually want to create or what you have to offer, right? So do you specialize in like real estate videos? Do you specialize in fitness videos or adventure type videos, right? What do you specialize in, or what's your target market, and what do you actually want to be producing? Like, even like if you wouldn't get paid, like what would be your type of dream client that you would want to love working with, right? Because you need to go after what you want, right? If you're just sitting there and passively wait for these projects to come in, you're never ever going to get those type of dream clients that you want. So define who that actually is that you want to attract, and then you'll be able to craft a message that actually resonates with them and actually build your offer around the exact type of problems and goals that they're trying to solve with your video, because people never just want the video, right? Video is always just a means to an end. And the more you can actually position yourself as a specialist for a specific type of buyer, the more you will actually stand out and the easier the sale it will be. And nobody cares about your 25 years of combined experience or how you live and breathe cinema, or you're gonna create such epic photos, or if you're a wedding photographer, like you're just gonna be the fly on the wall, right? Nobody cares about that. You need a like, what's in it for them? So how exactly can you help them, right? You're not just producing a video. And once you get to that the emotional and financial benefits and really down to the core needs that you're solving for them, right? Once you get to that with your message and your marketing, it's going to be so much easier for you to stand out. Everybody out there is just shouting the same message and nobody's listening. So what do you actually do if you haven't shot anything similar yet? So let's say you want to get after like adventure type clients and you haven't shot anything similar yet, or you're just starting out and this is really the first work that you're producing. So really, if you haven't produced anything, first up, grab your camera and shoot some personal projects. Really just do some passion projects where you're learning new stuff and you can show your skill, like maybe learn some After Effects, right? Do some motion graphics to really bump up your production value and really be able to show your work to that first client, right? But if you haven't shot anything for any type of business yet and you want to go after a specific type of niche client, right? Because that's your type of dream client and you need to be able to craft a message that resonates with people. And for that, you need to have an actual niche that you're trying to target, or a type of industry at least, right? So let's say this is your very first video client. A very simple strategy that you can do that a lot of people recommend doing is just simply working for free to get that initial client, to be able to showcase that to future clients. But I would suggest doing this with a little twist. That way it's an actual win-win for both of you, for you and the client. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna really do some research and find like what's that dream client, the exact business, like who would you love working with, right? And you find out the business owner's contact details, and you do some actual research and you figure out how could you actually help them with a video, like what specific type of like campaign could you guys produce, or specific type of video, right? So not just go there with something generic, right? Actually have a plan. And what you're going to be doing then is actually tell them that you'd be willing to do this for free in exchange for 3 referrals. But you need to make clear that you would never usually work for free, and that usually you would charge around X amount of budget for this. And you just want to do this because you love their business and you would love working with them and helping them out and build that relationship. And you only do this for exchange for 3 referrals if they're happy with your work. And that way it's a win-win for both of you. You get to actually work with that exact type of dream client that you would want to work with and get to showcase that to future type of clients, right? And you also get those 3 referrals. So it's a win-win for both of you. And on top of that, it's also invaluable information that you would never get from like just online market research when you try and find out what type of problems does a lawyer have, what type of problems does a gym owner have, or a restaurant owner, right? If you really actually work with one of those type of clients, right, you're gonna find that out much better. So it's a win-win for both of you. And before we dive into step number 2, I'd like to quickly plug the Facebook group that I just launched. So if you ever need any help implementing any of this, join the group, ask your questions. This group is strictly targeted towards filmmakers that actually want to grow their business and want to learn about marketing and selling their video services. There's not going to be any gear talk or like, what do you think of this effect or transition or whatever. The link is down below. Feel free to join, and let's dive into step number 2. And this is what a lot of filmmakers just completely step. So I already mentioned this partly, but it's really freaking important if you want to actually stand out and make life easy for yourself. And that is to actually craft a message that resonates with your target audience, right? Don't just shout what everybody else is shouting. So you need to present your service in a customer-centric approach in the actual context of the needs that you're actually solving for your client, right? Don't just talk about the features, but you need to talk about the benefits. So if a feature would be something like you've got 4K HDR 360 drone photography, right? That's a feature. What's the benefit of that? Looks like freaking real life photos, right? And you need to dive deeper and deeper, right? And what you really want to go after, let's say this is for like a real estate listing photo, right? You want to be able to communicate what is it that they actually want, right? They want to be able to sell their listings within days, or they want to be able to attract more home buyers, right? Or just attract and convert more leads, basically. And that video is going to help with conversion, or like, you need to actually dive deep and figure out what are the problems that I'm solving here. And nobody cares about you or the features, right? They don't care about all these buzzwords. And if you're looking for some more resources on this, just Google benefits versus features. You're gonna find tons of information because everybody is doing this wrong. Push the benefits, not the features, and talk about what's actually in it for them, right? People only care about them, their problems, and their needs. They don't care about how you live and breathe cinema, about how you've been doing this since you've been 5 years old, right? What's in it for me? Do you deliver faster than the competition so I can go to market faster, right? Are your videos designed to convert buyers, right? Or like whatever it is, right? Actually talk to your target audience or do some research and find out what are the problems, needs, and the desires that I'm solving, and learn to actually distinct yourself from the competition. Like, what actually makes you unique or different? How do you stand out in any way, shape, or form, other than the fact that you guys have like red cameras, drones, or whatever, right? Like, technical knowledge can only get you so far. It's not gonna help you actually distinct yourself from the competition if they have the same freaking knowledge, gear, skills that you have, right? Learn how to actually differentiate yourself from the competition, and how to actually stand out in this market, and how to actually craft a message that resonates with your market. Make your prospects that read your website copy actually feel like you're talking to them, right? Not just like you're talking to everybody. And that leads us to step number 3, which is to actually start making offers to people, right? Don't just sit there and wait and hope for the next referral to come in, for you to get recommended, or go to some networking events and hope and wait and pray that somebody is gonna call you, right? To actually take action and start making offers to people. So the very first and easy step here is obvious. Just go to your personal network. Like, are you doing real estate videos? Do you know anybody who's a realtor? Or do you know anybody who might know somebody who's a realtor, right? And post that on Facebook, right? Show your real estate work, or whatever type of work that you want to do and type of buyer that you want to attract would want to see, right? actually post that to Facebook and be like, hey, does anybody here know anyone who is a, and then whatever your niche that you want to go after is, right? And actually learn to push those benefits in there, right? Don't talk about like how you have all this amazing gear, like what is that gear gonna do for them, right? And actually start posting on Facebook, not just once, but do it over and over. And next up, start looking for specific Facebook groups that are in that type of niche, right? Are there groups with gym owners? Are there groups for realtors? Are there groups for like startups? Like, I don't know, whatever your freaking niches that you want to go after, like try and find Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, and actually join them. So that way you're gonna figure out like what types of problems and needs do these people have, like what themes do keep recurring, like what type of language do they use when they speak, like is it more formal, is it less formal, are there words and patterns in their problems and headlines that keep reappearing, right? Who are the influencers in this space? And really try and get an understanding of that market. And don't just stop there, like actually also go on Google and actually talk to people, right? And then actually start adding value to these people. So go into these Facebook groups and add value to people, right? Answer questions people have. You can educate them and tell them why video is so important for their business and things to actually consider and keep in mind when they go and produce videos, and things to consider when choosing a videographer. And then when people engage with your content, you can add them as friends, connect to them on LinkedIn, and start a conversation and keep adding value to them. That's one way you can reach out to people. The next one would be LinkedIn. And if you're in the B2B space, this one is really worth gold, because you can actually search for people in exact type of companies and positions. And when you're using the LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it costs money, but you can actually pinpoint the decision makers of those type of companies that you want to be working with, right? So you can find people that way and then connect to them. And when connecting to them, also make sure that you're sending a personalized message, right? Don't just send out some automated pitch, and don't even pitch at all, right? Actually provide value to them. And then obviously you can use Google to search. And if you haven't already, check out my video on how to find unlimited clients. That's going to show you how to actually automate that process of going through Google Maps listings and finding those businesses or yellow pages. So that way you're gonna have a huge list of potential businesses to go through and locate the decision makers and their emails. And this is where you're gonna actually start doing some cold outreach. So everything so far we've been operating on social media. So it's key that you don't straight up pitch to people. So on social media, you wanna actually position yourself as an authority and slowly build that trust and rapport with people. And if you DM anyone and straight up pitch to them on Facebook and even LinkedIn, that's not gonna end too well. But now we're actually moving on to cold outreach, so email outreach. And this process is a whole bit more scalable, but you wanna make sure that you're also still personalizing your messages and you're not just spamming them out. And I should pretty much make another video on this whole topic, on how to most efficiently send out cold email and how to scale that process. So let me know in the comments down below if you want me to shoot a video on that. But pretty much it comes down to this. So as I said, you want to make sure that your emails are personalized as much as you can, but you also don't want to overdo it, because then you can't really scale the process, right? What you can do here is just mention specifics of that company that you're reaching out to, and obviously make sure that you have the right decision maker's name, that you have the right email address, and then also try and mention specifics, right? Actually compliment them on something that recently happened in their business, or anything of that matter that shows you're really human and this is not just some automated mass email, right? And then you want to make sure that you're not just blindly sending out these emails. You want to be able to reiterate and improve your message and your email outreach by actually tracking your data. So simple things to track here would be your open rate, like how many people actually opened your email, and how to improve that. You can pretty much test out different subject lines, or also behind the subject line in most email software nowadays, you're gonna see the first part of that first sentence, right? Also switching that out. So that's how you can improve the open rate. After the open rate, you're gonna be tracking the reply rate. So how many people actually got back to your email, how many people actually replied, and then also per touch point, right? You don't wanna just send out one email and then completely forget them, right? Actually follow up with other emails depending on if they actually got back to you or not. And you can actually automate this process. You don't need to manually go back for every lead and like after 1 week send that message, right? But you want to track all of this for each touch point, right? You're gonna have the first touch point. If they didn't get back to that, 3 days later, 5 days later, whatever, they're gonna get the next touch, and so on, right? And you want to be tracking also your reply rate. So how many people actually reply to the email. And things to improve that is obviously the actual content of the email, but also partly the subject line, right? And obviously the amount of personalization. So if somebody thinks this is just some automated email campaign, right? They're not gonna actually bother and reply because they think you're just spamming them, right? So track your open rate, your reply rate, and next up your actual meeting booked rate. So how many people actually booked a meeting with you, right? And also from what touch point did that occur? And to improve that, obviously change your email body text, or maybe just a whole different approach, right? Maybe you were pitching in the email, maybe you try and just provide value in the email and see if that's gonna increase the meeting booked rate. Then you're also gonna have to obviously track the next thing, and that's your actual sales conversion rate, right? Because even if you attract a lot of meetings booked, if none of these people actually turn it into a sale, then you're also probably doing something wrong, right? And that could be because of your approach, because you may be just providing too much value and you haven't made clear that you're actually offering a service too, or because of your sales process. So that's why it's key to also track your call conversion rate, like your sales call conversion rate. And here it's key to actually have a repeatable process that you follow, so you don't just shoot into the dark and do something else with every different type of prospect, right? You're not going to be able to really track anything then, right? So ideally you would have a script, but if you don't have a script, then at least have the same repeatable process that you go through with each prospect, so you can see and test and improve there, right? So if you want to stop relying on networking, word of mouth, referrals, or repeat business, or what I just call hope marketing, make sure to subscribe down below. And if you need any help implementing any of this is what I do. Send me a message, and otherwise let me know in the comments down below what are you currently struggling with, and maybe I can make a video and help you out. Otherwise, join the Facebook group if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe and check out this video if you're looking for some more inspiration on how to get video clients. And obviously hit that thumbs up if this helped you in any way, shape or form. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.